Hello and welcome back to Courageously Living. I'm Tara, and this series is called Let's Talk About. And recently on another social platform, somebody was asking about becoming a Reiki master. And so I kind of jumped into the comments and I realized I should do a video on here about energy work or healing techniques. So I am a Reiki master. It is a Japanese form of energy healing. But there are many forms of healing that is basically all kind of similar. It's just the individual practices are changed, are done in different fashions. So it's really about what feels right for you. So before I was a Reiki master, I learned hands-on healing from Carol Lowell and Echo Bodine probably like 20 some years ago. And that is just at the very core basic of putting your hands on someone else and kind of allowing beautiful white light energy to go through them. And then there's also things that are like distance healing, where you can energetically send healing and love to other people. Healing touch is another really popular one. It, I believe, was started by nuns. And it is they definitely have more structure with it because they are using it in hospitals. So they created a curriculum for that, and so that nurses and other practitioners can get continuing ed credits for it. But it's the same basic concept. Another name of it is laying on of the hands for healing, also called energy work, also called quantum touch. All of those basics are the same, whichever modality, whichever practice you use. And I particularly find that I like doing hands-on healing the best. Reiki, I think, is really good for people who want very set traditions and rituals to start each healing session. Now, yes, I am a Reiki master. Do I blend all of these modalities that I've learned over the years? 100%. For me, Reiki was just a little too confining. And so I use it probably the least. But it's all working with our energy field and are allowing different auras and energies and all of that to kind of move through your body for either spiritual, physical, or emotional healing. I'm going to put healing in quotes because a lot of times people will say, oh, I'm a healer. I've never particularly liked that word. So I always prefer that I'm an energy worker, or that I like the Reiki for the title because more people know it. But it is about moving energy and moving stuck energy. Because what happens is when we've had trauma or when we are being really hard on ourselves, we kind of constrict our energy. And by doing different energy techniques, modalities, we're releasing some of that energy out so that we can bring in really high, beautiful, light energy coming into the body. Now, none of these techniques, I want to say, are better than the other. What I will say is that you as an individual should find what works for you, for if you want to receive it and or if you want to learn how to do it. And it's also really easy to learn to do self-healing on yourself. And it also is hard to do it on yourself because you are so sometimes in your own head of, well, it's got to be this way, it's got to be that way. I've got to try to move this type of energy. And so that's where I really do find it is really helpful to have a practitioner, to have someone who is a healer, however they categorize themselves. That said, I want to do a little bit of experiment with you, and I want you to imagine you're forming a ball of energy. And just as you feel the ball getting bigger, I want you to expand your hands. Now, obviously, I've been doing energy work for a really, really long time, and it's really easy for me to get a fairly good-sized ball really quickly. You may not feel anything between your hands, and that doesn't mean it's not there. You also might feel your hands getting really, really hot, or conversely, really, really cold. That's all energy work. And so I want you to take this beautiful ball, however big you got it, maybe you even got it bigger, and just gently put it toward your heart and allow that to go into yourself. Now, there's a lot of kind of cool things that as you learn more about energy work, that really kind of expands your curiosity, expands your consciousness of what is possible. And it also works really well as a complement to Western medicine. I am definitely one of those people that really, really gravitate toward natural medicine, all of that, with a healthy respect and a healthy knowledge of Western medicine. And when the two work together, I find that it does work a lot better. That is what I'm going to say, but I am not a doctor. That is my disclaimer there. So you have to do what works for you. But if you are wanting, like, let's say you just have kind of a normal naggy headache, not a migraine, just kind of a normal headache, what you can do is you can actually take your hand and kind of pull it like this. And what you're doing is you're going to try to pull some of that extra energy out of where your headache is kind of hurting. Now, a lot of times I will do this and still take an Advil. It kind of just works both ways on that. But sometimes I can just do this and I don't need to take Advil. So again, that's a really quick way to do something for physical pain for yourself, for kind of moving that energy around. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, especially right now during this crazy chaotic time, just put your hands over your heart and envision white light just going into your heart. Beautiful, pure white light. And that works really, really good for emotional or spiritual healing. Again, these are really, really high level kind of things about healing. The more you kind of go into kind of cool classes and stuff, the more stuff you can kind of do with it. But I wanted to kind of give you an overview of what some of the different healing modalities, healing practices are. At the core of them, across culture, I really believe they are very, very similar, and you're working with the energy field. And there's a couple of other things worth noting that I probably will do separate videos on, but there is a lot of practitioners and energy workers that do energy sessions with crystals, with working with your chakras. They've are really helpful to kind of pare them down a little bit into basically another tool to help you. I do have a video of replenishing your chakras without kind of doing any specific healing type thing that I'll put up there for you. And I'll also talk about crystals, because I certainly always have crystals. Like if I just look at my desk right now, my desk is messy. I've got an obsidian to kind of help ground, a carline, for kind of Mars action, passion energy. I mean, and that's just on my messy desk right now. So yes, I use crystals all the time as well, but you can also use them if you're, if you're feeling really overwhelmed, taking, a black stone like an obsidian, a hematite, if you have those, can help, you can feel more grounded. So that's all with energy and energy movement. So there's so much, like this field is so huge and so broad. I truly am only trying to touch the surface for you, because there's so much information that you can kind of go down the rabbit hole. So my question for you is, out of all the things that I mentioned, which one resonated with you the most? And if you are a practitioner or a healer, which one do you like using the most yourself? And let's get kind of some conversation going about different healing modalities. That is what I have for you today. And let's end, as we end all of our videos, with the self-hug. Self-hug. And I will catch you on the next video. And I'm super interested to see what you say in the comments about what resonated with you and what you're maybe interested to kind of explore more on. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.